Hello, it's day number 58. I had the weirdest beginning of my day today. I went to bed very late last night. And so when my alarm went off at 5 o'clock this morning to wake up my daughter, I heard it and I turned it off, and then I closed my eyes for just a little bit, a half hour. So there goes my morning routine. And I was just so tired and dragging my feet. I was thinking the whole time, how on earth I'm just going to skip my day today. I'm just so tired. I'm not going to do all this work today that I have planned. I'm not going to do my workout. I'm not going to do anything. So so I take my daughter to her first class this morning, and I come back and get my other kids. And by the time we left to drop them off, it was beautiful and sunny, and everything was happy. Even my oldest was happy, which is kind of rare first thing in the morning. It was fantastic. Everybody was in a good mood. I was in a good mood. The sun was so beautiful, and it was warm and breezy. Of course, it's when you're riding your bike, it's real. You can feel how windy it is when you're going the wrong direction, which I felt. Anyway, so I determined, by the time I got back from dropping everybody off, I was so excited. Ha! I am going for my bike ride today. It is too beautiful to be inside. So I did my morning routine. I did a couple things. Oh, I took care of the chickens. And then I went for the bike ride, 10 miles. Day that I didn't think I was going to do any exercise. I did my morning routine. I did my 10-mile bike ride, and I did my arm training. So, eh, there's that for my my plan to slack off today. I didn't want to. And then after that, I came back and I got ready, and I know I did more because I wasn't ready to rest. Took care of my smoothie. I'm gonna have to show you how to make my smoothie. I love my smoothies. Okay. Anyway, and then what else did I do? Oh, I started to make my sauerkraut. I have a long way to go before I know how to really make that. So today the recipe called for the amount of whey that I had. It said I needed 6 pounds of cabbage. So I chopped up my 6 pounds of cabbage, and then when it came time to adding them into the jars, I found out I have way more cabbage than I have whey. Oh, no pun intended. Way more. Anyway, that's very bad. So I had to scale back my plants. I had mixed it all in the bowl, so all the cabbage had been sitting in the whey for some time. Adding cabbage, the whey, salt, pickling salt, what caraway seeds. Then there are these. They ask for juniper berries, but I don't have juniper berries. I don't know where to find juniper berries, so I looked up substitutes, and rosemary apparently is a good substitute for juniper berries. So I used a sprig of rosemary. What else went in there? I think that's about it. But I had this big, huge. Start off with a really big bowl, and then once I got it into at least one jar with enough whey to cover all of it, then I had just a nice big red bowl full of cabbage with this lovely whey sauce on it. It smelled so good. Oh, onion. I used a white onion. Holy cow, that smelled so good. And it was delicious. Tonight we had that mixed with rice and some chicken. Oh, it was so good. That is a delicious meal. Even my kids loved it, which is strange because you look at cabbage and you think, I'm not sure how I'm going to feel about that. But they all loved it. It tasted so good. So even though I'm not going to be able to turn all of that cabbage into sauerkraut, it makes for a beautiful cabbage salad. Love it. Anyway, so I do have pictures of the process of me making trying to make the sauerkraut, and then at the very end, I had to use all the cabbage to get the 12 or the 6 pounds that I was asking for. In fact, I even came up with 5 pounds. I was a pound short for the recipe, And then after everything, it says, okay, now use one leaf that you've set aside from the beginning. It didn't ever say to set aside a leaf from the beginning to cover the sauerkraut, and then make sure there's some whey on top of it. Well, I didn't get that leaf because I used it all to chop it up. So I don't know how well this sauerkraut is going to turn out. It's going to take 3 or 4 days in the first round, and then I do something to it after that, and then it sits for 3 or 4 weeks, and then I do something else after that, and then it's another couple weeks before it's ready to go. So it's going to be a little while before that sauerkraut's ready, unless I can tell that it's turning bad. Then I really did something wrong. So I'll just keep an eye on it and show you the progress of how that's going. So yeah, I made sauerkraut on top of everything else today, and I squeezed in a nap because I was so tired. At least I got my, and it was a short nap. It wasn't a long one, so that was good. Yeah, great day. Family home evening with the kids this evening. Everybody did their part, which is great because they used to complain, but now they're all excited to do their parts. It's our lives are changing. My children's lives are changing for the better. I can't believe how blessed we are right now. It is so fantastic. And because of that feeling that I had this morning of just wanting to be outside and go for that bike ride, I decided to use this song by Christian Stanfill. I don't know, I'm not sure exactly what the title is. Is it Passion, Glorious Day, or is it just Glorious Day? I'm not quite sure. Anyway, Glorious Day by Christian Stanfill. It is, I just love the feel of him singing glorious, singing that glorious day. It just feels like you're free, the wind blowing on you. At least that's how I feel when I ride my bike. And then the scripture that I love to go with this is in 2 Corinthians. And once again, it's a Paul scripture. So it takes, it's just so wordy. Run-on sentences. But in verse 17, there's a phrase in there because it's really hard to find the complete sentence still. You can tell he wrote it because it's the same pattern of what goes with what and how long is this. But he does say in verse 17 of 2 Corinthians 4, for our light affliction, which is but for a moment, worketh for us a far more exceeding and eternal weight of glory. So whatever we're going through right now may seem insurmountable. It may seem like there's no hope. There's no way we can move past this. There's nothing else we can do. But he reminds us that this affliction that we have is light, and it's but for a moment. And it will work for us a far more exceeding and eternal weight of glory. I love that. Have a great night.